the recording. So we're going to start with the drawing as always, and then we're gonna as Sandra has been experimenting with this, so have I. We're gonna we're gonna try a grisaille painting, a gray painting, grisaille, sorry, underneath. Before we get started. So the areas that we won't be painting, and I want to highlight these right now, are these light areas. I know on the paper they look like peachy colored, but we're going to save those for the very last. We will not put, so I'm kind of sketching out here areas that you will preserve, and you should outline them in your drawings as we start to do your drawings. The areas that we're not going to paint at all, at least until the very end, are going to be these white areas. And that includes the point where we add grisaille in. So I'm just showing you what they are. Notice not everything is like the same kind of level of white. And I'll get to the bigger around drawing. But one of the things I found is it's easy to lose your whites as you're going through this process, and your lights, and we don't want to do that. So I just tested, and you cannot, absolutely cannot put the light pinky, peachy colors down over gray. It doesn't work. So when we're starting this, when we're doing our underpainting, we're going to keep these places that I've outlined. Those are going to stay light. You're not going to put any paint on them. Oh, excellent. Thank you, Annika. When I get a chance, I'll take a look. I'm excited.
Later.
Yeah. But I like that. So I am going to let you guys be kind of loose with your drawing. You do not have to include every element in here if you don't want to. I'm going to kind of outline the major ones so you kind of get that shape. But I'd like to give you choices in terms of how much you put in here. So I'm just outlining the shapes. You can have as many or as few of these pieces as you want in kind of whatever you can fit. But I am, yeah, like I think this is kind of silly, so I probably won't put that in. I mean, I'm trying to outline almost everything. Anyway, here. So I'm outlining kind of the basic. So this group of flowers is all together. You'll want to get the outline before you start sketching in the inside shapes. And this flower is on its own, and this flower is on its own. So here, let me take a picture of this. I think you can kind of see it. So here are the orange, so the black, just to repeat, the black outlines are the areas, you're not putting those in just yet. You're going to start with your orange outlines. You can pick as much as you want to be included in your drawing. And these black shapes are the shapes within those shapes. So whatever flowers you do decide to do, these black shapes are black outline shapes. These are the areas we're not going to be putting any paint, including an underpainting. Okay, so let me come over here. Obviously, we are looking at a values painting first. Mine is, I have a 5x7. You might have a 6x9. You might have something slightly bigger or smaller. I think this kind of painting is the kind of thing where you can get a lot in here. Yeah, there we go. Oops, easy to get too big. Do as I say, not as I teach. Not as I do. Do as I teach, not as I do. So you can choose not to do this one behind here. I think I may choose that. I may only do a portion. Yep, I don't really have room to do more than a few because of the size I'm working and the size of my drawing. So I'm I'll get as much as I can in. Can definitely fit that one in and that one and maybe part of this one. So I'm just not worrying about the rest of the flowers. Mine stops here. Ooh, shit. Sorry, T on it. About here. And I like these, some of these little poppy bulbs are neat in shape. Try not to simplify them too much. Pay attention to their shapes. They're kind of a little bit triangular on top, and then there's a little edge here, and then they come in. These shapes for poppies are really important. I'm painting a lot of poppies right now, and I'm really finding that these shapes are important. And there's this one here. This looks like a Feed Me Seymour type thing. There's stems. I think those are important to get. There's like, interesting. Yep, there's like that piece. So I'll show you what I wind up with, and you guys have, you decide what you want to have. I'm trying to decide. So your initial drawing should look a little bit like this, in the sense that you don't have any inside lines. I'll bring this fellow in too. I like how that finishes off the composition. It's nice. What I like about this piece is there's a little bit of all the elements of the poppy. Like there's a tiny bit, if you wanted to, you could get, I'm probably not going to get into the leaf here, but if you wanted to, you could. There's like little elements of everything. Here, I'll take a picture. Yeah, do whatever you want, Olga. What are you doing over here? What are you doing on the left?
Empty space.
Okay, I don't think that's compositionally going to work.
But I can cut it. I will
okay. All right. So give yourself I want to see where you think the end of your painting should go.
Okay, sure.
I mean, you can really clearly see the end of my painting, the beginning and the end. I want you to be able to see that. Empty space doesn't work. But I like the idea anyway. I like the sketch anyway. Nice. You can use that area for testing.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Now you're going to want to, once you get these in, you're going to want to start adding in your inside lines. So you'll see I have a lot of these white shapes like here, right? That I want to make sure are highlighted, because those shapes are the ones that we're going to keep blank. Oops, I want to bring this up a little bit. And I've really found doing this over the last 2 days that if you don't preserve your whites, this looks terrible. So all your whites, even though this doesn't look white, the pinks that are being backlit by sunlight, those are your whites. So
And so you leave them white. You don't.
leave them white. You leave them white, and my advice is to really to sketch them out, to like really shape them out, because otherwise you'll lose it. Right. I'm doing a few inside lines so you can start to see, because the grisaille works great in the shadow areas, but you don't want it in the areas that are.
No, I didn't mean putting grisaille. I meant putting like at the very last.
Anything. Yeah, well,
like
at the last we'll do this.
Pink.
Exactly. That's what I was just, and it works great.
Okay.
Exactly. This is the one place. What's nice about the grisaille is that it helps. I mean, you don't have to do so much complement mixing in with your colors, which I find really great. It's kind of neat because it's sort of there. The things that you would mix, that I would have you mix into the color, are here. So see how this flower has lots of these light and dark shapes. It's really, poppies are so cool. But I'm almost letting these light shapes kind of power. The other thing I'm also finding is that the flower stays a lot more loose for a longer, because we're really separating out these shapes. So you need to be comfortable with that. Just warning you now. I'm just telling you of all the things that I've noticed. I think you guys are still going to have the easiest time with this, because I think I have it a little bit locked down more. There we go. So my lights, super defined here. And I'll take a pic. I know for some reason the focus is a little bit weird right now. We'll see. So I'll take a picture. So here's what my final drawing looks like. So it's almost like you're dissecting this in a completely different way. There's probably a little bit. So take your time. But I also find, Sandra, I don't know if you're finding this, I just find watercolor painting really mesmerizing. Like kind of, I think I know a lot about, I think I'm kind of on autopilot with some of my other painting because I've done it so much, but I just find this to be really zen in a way that the others are not. Am I right on that? It is kind of zen, isn't it?
Oh, there's something about it, and also about the result, which is completely different. I'm blown away when it works well. I mean,
when it works well, it's really exciting. It's really exciting.
Blown away by my own painting yet, but when I watch videos, sometimes I'm like, wow.
Yeah, how did you do that?
And it's interesting we're doing that because I thought it worked really well with animals. And I wasn't sure whether flowers were
about the flowers. Yeah. But I think it does work. Like in a kind of subtle, I think it does work. So it's fun. Anyway, it's been really fun. This has been quite fun. I think because you have to plan more, you have to be thinking more about your composition.
And it makes you do that value underpainting, which is very good training.
Yeah, it really is. It just gets you simplified. It gets you simplified. Yes, I agree. Anyway, it makes me more fun. It's really fun. All right, so guys, when you're done, go ahead and send, but take your time on these drawings. Take your time. I've sent you mine so you can see it. Give yourself the time. I want to see very clear light spots. So you'll see these are all the light spots that you're not going to add any paint on at the beginning. So I guess that's the thing about watercolor that's very unique. You have got to plan that out very clearly, or you lose it. I would say half the people when in the crocuses we did last night kind of lost their lights. I actually think people in Wednesday's class did pretty well. And about half the people in Thursday's class did okay. And every other people, they just painted right over these sections and it looked, there's no way to save it. There's no way to save that painting. So I'm just warning you. You know, and the other thing I did to entertain everybody was show people how many. I did this thing last year where I painted 100 watercolors, and I'd say a good 30 of them were just total throwaways. So I kept them, and I'll show you them so that even if you mess this up, it's okay, right? Like watercolor has its own learning curve, and I'll show you some of my mistakes so you can see that's also a learning thing.
Yes, if you tell us what the mistake is, like what.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like when you knew that.
I think you'll know. I think it'll be obvious. I think you'll be able to see them and you'll be like, ooh, whoops. Okay, what is that? What are the weird noises coming?
Oh, I thought you were making them.
Not me.
Leah, I've simplified. I'm going to send it to you. Tell me if it's
Okay.
enough or if I need to put more.
Okay, let me see.
Let me see. Hold on. I'm hoping to keep it simple. Sorry, it's sideways.
That's okay. I think, oh, I like it. I think I'd like to see a flower overlapping another flower.
But it's on the left.
I see it's on the left. Yep. So
there's this overlapping, which is annoying. So I was trying to keep my life simple on the right, but
I see. What I would do then is just do a couple. Yeah, I see your point. There's a lot of white space here, though, which will feel
on the top left. I'm thinking top
no,
left.
I'm actually thinking you need something on the right. So what I would do is send here. So I'm pointing here on the right, on your right here. I would send something like one of these kind of going sideways, a stem going across. So we can go behind the flower, but maybe come up on this side.
But you don't think I have too much of a gap on the first left bud, on top of a left bud?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
Okay,
I think
I'm going
the
to do what you
problems,
say.
I think the problems are all here. So
okay.
Something a little bit more dense over on this side. A little bit of overlapping, but I get why you didn't want to overlap here. That's valid. And it looks like, yeah. And this one, so is this one supposed to be, the one on the far right supposed to be this one?
The one on far right, let me see, I've lost your picture.
I'm pointing.
I know.
Yeah.
How
I'm
do I
looking
find
at
the
the
photo?
camera. This
So
one-
that one, I decided that I didn't have one close up. So,
So, the only thing is the top doesn't really look right. It looks
it's a bit too high, isn't it?
too high. So make it lower and
Okay.
more flat across.
Okay.
I can tell when you guys are trying to make up a drawing. That I can tell. See, it's like Zen. Y'all are so mellow.
Just because we're such good students.
You are.
And I'm so happy because I found my paints. They had them at Blake.
Yay. All right.
So I spent almost $300 on paints.
Wow. But it's gonna last you a long time.
A long
Yeah,
time.
It will.
Anik, that looks pretty good. Maybe a little bit more detail on this flower, the whites. A little bit more detail. Oh, no, it's not that white actually. Okay, you're good. You're good. It's interesting to see how everybody is. Okay, Annika looks, come here, you. Come on. I'm losing the sketch. Nice. Now I'm starting to feel like I'm seeing voice a little bit. It's fun. Very nice. Good job. Annika, nice. Good job. Anya.
Is it for me or for other Anya?
I'm
Annika.
looking at Anya. Oh, Annika is in LA.
Okay.
You are Anya to me.
Okay.
That's how you introduce yourself originally, anyway.
Yeah, sure. Oh yeah, it's so nice actually. Annika's.
Yes.
Oh.
Annika. Okay, so Anya, you need a little bit more white detail in here, this flower. Otherwise, this looks good. But get that white shape that's here in the middle flower, because you will regret not having it. Very nice. Good job, you guys. Good job, Annikas. Anya. So I have Anik in Poland. I have Anya in Poland, and then I've got Annika in LA. Does that work for you guys? Or, I mean, that's
Well, I'm
how...
not going to change my name, so better work. No, I'm just kidding.
I know you have a lot of different nicknames in Poland there because you've got a lot of Annas and Annikas.
Okay. Okay, I'm sending it to you again, Leah. I
All right.
put that flower.
Let's see. Okay, there you go.
Okay.
Yeah, good. Looks great. Is there going to be fun? Anybody else have anything they want to send my way? I'll wait a little bit longer. So for those of you who are done with your drawing, you're going to practice mixing our gray color. So if you have two options here, if you have Payne's gray, you are allowed to use that as your gray. If you do not have Payne's gray, you're going to mix, and this might take a little time. So here, I'm going to show you. You're going to mix Viridian green, Viridian green, and quinacridone red until you get a gray. And note that quinacridone red is really powerful. So if it's too red, you need to put in a lot more green. And your gray that you're going to use is going to be about this value. So here, I'm going to put this down here. So you might spend a little bit of time mixing it. So that's viridian green. This is quinacridone red. Right? You're going to mix those to get your gray. Here is the gray. You're going to mix those to get a gray. So so practice, you want to build yourself up a little puddle of that. Let's see, this is the green plus quin red equals the grisaille color you're going to use. And then this is the value. So you'll want it watered down, but I wanted to show it to you dark so you can see it. Here we go. Hang on, Rashmi, I'll take a look at yours in a second. Let me just send this out so you guys have it. There you go. See all my testing down here. Let's see. Yeah, Rashmi, that looks pretty good. So what's happening over here? Are you just fading off?
Yeah, I mean, I
Okay.
think I should make a little.
You should make 1 or 2 lines just to make sure we understand what we're looking at. So, but otherwise it looks good.
Okay.
For those of you who came a little bit late, let's see. So we've got Sandra, I've got Anita. Bring this line down a little bit more on this flower, Anita. Otherwise, looks pretty good. For those of you who got here a little bit late, we are really riffing on these flowers. You don't have to do everything, but what you do have to do is get the lights. So Emma, I'm seeing the same thing kind of happen with you. I'm not really sure what's happening down here on the left side. So you can simplify if you want to, but I still want to know what's happening here. Otherwise, this looks pretty good. Natalia. Yep, that looks great. Good job, you guys. I can see you're really highlighting these light areas, which we're going to keep white. Good job. Excellent.
Has anyone heard from Needy?
Rashmi, have you?
I haven't. I'll check on.
She's probably just recovering.
No.
You can drop her a note, Diana, on WhatsApp.
Yeah.
I bet she would like that.
Oof.
Could you repeat the gray mix?
I just sent it across.
Oh, okay, sorry.
There's a picture. Viridian green, quin red equals grisaille, and then this is the value that you want.
Okay.
Yep. And you're going to spend a little time. You don't want your gray mix too red or too green. So you'll have a little fun with that one. This is fun with mixing. If you have Payne's gray, you could totally use that. There was 1 or 2 people last night who could not, for the life of them, get this mix right. They just couldn't. There's a way of being too heavy-handed with the red. The red is very powerful. So if you use less red, you'll notice that'll help you. If you guys give me just a second, I'm going to go check on my cat, make sure he's doing okay.
No, Julia. No. 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 know. I don't know.
Oh, oh. Monkeys.
Julia.
Anything else I need to look at? Anybody having fun mixing their grisaille color? Yeah, Natalia, that looks great. Okay, I'm gonna flip this around. Take this. Does anybody need to see this still, or are you good? Okay, I'm gonna take this off so we can see the colors. Put my testing sheet up here. Let's see. Oh, good, Rashmi. Very good. Excellent. You're going to be very happy. Okay. Oops. Make sure you can see. Here, actually, I'm going to bring this whole thing over here. Okay. So I'll start here. Since we can see this part, I'll start here on the right. I want you guys to watch first before you do anything else. I'm going to take some of this gray, and as always, I'm testing it. I want it to be a very soft, light color. And in the darkest areas of the flowers, you're going to start to lay this kind of light gray wash. So remember, you're leaving the light areas, which look like light pink. These areas, they're unpainted right now. We're painting really the shadow areas. I'm going so light, I don't even think you can see it. I have to go a little bit darker. Right. You want to be careful not to go too dark. Particularly on this first layer. I'm getting lots of drops because I'm using a lot of water. So you can take your blankie and scoop those up if you want to. Oh, I see what was going on there. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. Mm-hmm. I go to about here and then I stop. Those are the rest of you who have gone farther. You can, of course. Yeah, I'm not going to go in here. Even though there's some shadow areas in here, I'm going to leave these for the moment. Anything that's being kind of backlit by sunlight, I'm leaving. So here, there's a little bit back here, a little bit back here. Okay, and then once I get in there, I can go a little bit darker with your, you know, these stems and sort of little capsules because they are a little bit darker. So this you'll want to read Oh, darn, gotta mix more. Ugh, too gray. Okay. If you don't get exactly the same color, it's okay. What we're really looking for though is a gray. Okay. I'm kind of going in and getting the darker areas. It's looking really neat already, isn't it? Kind of in this strange, compelling way. Sandra is right. It really does force you to look at lights and darks. Oh, I think I might have gone a little too dark on that flower, so I'm pulling it back just a little bit, putting more water on my brush. Yeah, there we go. That's light. This is dark. That's dark. This is dark. There we go. So your first kind of layer should look like this. Yeah, there you go. Here, I will take a picture. And it's charming in its own way. It really is charming. Totally charming. So pretty. Might have gone a little too. Be careful not to.
When I mix the colors, it doesn't look gray for me at all. Maybe
Yeah,
mine are just
you're too heavy-handed with one of them. So as I said, you're going to have to practice. Don't use so much red. If it looks too
But
purple.
I'm just not sure that my colors are right because I have different names.
Okay.
So one is called deep green and another vermilion.
Oh yeah, those are the wrong colors.
And then
They are
there is
absolutely.
crimson red.
That's the only green and red you have?
There is also crimson red.
Okay.
And sap green.
Ugh, both of those are awful. The crimson is okay. Your deep green is going to be too yellow. I would try adding a little bit of blue, ultramarine blue, into your deep green and crimson. Try that.
Green,
but also you need to get better colors, honey. We need the colors. We need you to get these colors because they're really, it's important for mixing. If you have Payne's Gray, you can use that. Do you have Payne's Gray? Do you happen to have that?
No, but well, I can do like black and white. Don't you think it will work?
No, it will not work. It will not. You need a non-chromatic, meaning a non-very color. You want to take the intense color out of the mix. So you might try, try crimson and deep green and a little bit of ultramarine blue. See if you can get something more gray. See if that works.
Yeah, like not exactly gray, but something similar. I think it's.
I'd like to see a picture of it.
Okay. Oh, here it's too dark, but I'll send you.
Send me a lightened version too. I need to see a version that's light as well as the one that's dark. That's of course what you're using, right? Let's see. Okay, good. And this is, oh no, this is purple, honey. It's not gray.
Yeah, I know.
It's not remotely. So what do you do when you see too much of one color? You pull that, you take more of the other two colors. So try mixing. I think you're actually a little kind of not getting the mixing concept. In mixing, if there's too much of one color, you put the other colors in to your mix, more of the other colors. So you put in more green, you put in more blue. If it's too red,
sure, but
try it. Try it. You've got a tremendous amount of red in there. That's all I see.
Okay.
If I do that, look, if I do that here, the same thing happens. If I put too much red in my green, I just get something that looks like that. You
No,
know?
definitely. I will try,
get
but
that.
I'm just not sure that the colors work. Okay.
Okay. The other thing that can work is, do you have lamp black and ultramarine blue? Okay, Rashmi, this is too purple, too red, which means you need more green.
Okay.
Okay, and this is also very dark, so I want you to lighten it as you're coming. I want to see your grays, you guys, before you really get in there too much. Anik, these are looking pretty good. Okay. So that's more blue and green. Anya, that's more blue and green.
Mine is quin rose and viridian green. So would that
That's
work?
fine. That should work. Yes, just less red.
Okay.
Less red, more green. Yeah, that should work. Quin red and quin rose, I think of. Anya, that looks better. Olga, not bad. Yes, that's beautiful. But you want it, of course, much less strong.
Got it.
And like somebody's underwater.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. Good job. Yeah, Anya, I think that looks much better. So just lighten it.
I think this gray is better, right?
Yeah, there you go. Now you got it. Yep, you got it perfect. That's perfect. See, you can get there. This is what this is teaching you. And I want you guys to look at how light these grays are. They're not like the heaviest, except in like the super dark areas. Good job, you guys. Good job. Oh, Emma, nice. That's a little heavy, Emma. So I'm just telling you, a little bit on the heavy side. You may struggle with your top colors. If you have a little bit, really pay attention to this, when I'm talking to you about it. You'll learn. I learned the hard way. You'll learn the hard way. You can get your paper towel wet and try and pull off a little bit, but that's extremely heavy and dark for what we're trying to do. Remember, you're going to layer another transparent color on top of this. So if you want it to work, you've got to make sure it's not too dark and heavy. But it's still pretty in its own way. Sandra, yes. Now, Sandra's been practicing this technique for quite a while. Look at what she's got going on. Nice. Nice. Really light. It's okay, I get it.
I don't want you guys in the windows.
I mean, this is super light. This is not like super heavy. Since we're going to be doing watercolor a bit longer, at least another month, Sandra had asked, I know we were in the process of doing landscapes, but Sandra had asked if we could do a lemur next week. Would you guys be up for that? Trying a lemur with this technique? Yes. Olga's like, yes. I know who's going to say yes on this one.
Because when we did it in drawing, you said we were definitely going to do one in watercolor.
Absolutely. Let's do it. And we have time. Nothing but time. Annika, nice. Good, nice light touch. Good gray. Natalia, nice light touch. Good gray. Good job. All right. So here's the interesting thing. I want you guys to spend a little bit of time on testing here. Lay out a little bit of your, here, hold on, mix them. Lay out a little bit of your gray here on your testing paper and let it dry. So the key here to this grisaille is letting it dry before you lay other colors on top. If you lay other colors on top when it's wet, like I'm about to do here to show you, you get a kind of melting, mildy thing happening, and it kind of dries a little bit muted and light. However, if you lay your reds on top. So I have found that I was testing right before class that if you mix cadmium red and quin red or rose and a bit of yellow, I'm using yellow ochre. You can use gamboge. I think that mustardy yellow works out really nicely. You get kind of this color. If you lay it over gray like that, see how lovely it looks in the shadows areas. So you don't really have to mix in. All we're mixing is kind of the orange that goes on top, a sort of pinky orange, which is really, yeah. So if you've got gamboge or you have yellow ochre, those are the best. If you don't, try a cadmium yellow. But really you're going to mix. Anya, for you, that's probably your vermilion is your orangest, and your crimson, you're going to mix them together and put in a little bit of yellow to make an orange. And then, but before you go on, I want you to test on top, right? I want you to test on top just to make sure you like how this is kind of playing out. I think it's really pretty. And then I'm going of course to the darkest areas. Right, I'm going here into the dark areas. Oh, so pretty. Yeah. I am not painting anything in my light areas, right? I'm keeping those. On the top here of this flower here, let me put it here so you can see it. There are darker and lighter areas. So I'm actually kind of going into the dark. So right here, it's sort of darker. I'm preserving this white because this is kind of a white. It's a light pink. There's a little sort of stripe here of darker. Let's see, darker here. I'm going in and kind of putting in the darker areas, and then I'm gonna dip my brush in the water and put in a slightly lighter around those. So nice. I'm keeping these areas because they are gonna be pink later. And it looks, I don't know, already I think it looks kind of sweet. If I want to go back later and kind of darken, I can, but I want to wait till it dries. So I'm going to move over to this flower here, which has some really lovely, I probably should have tested that first. So these areas are a little bit lighter than what's around them. So I'm doing darker than what's around them and kind of richer in color. So I'm doing these first. And we'll talk about the stems in a second. Okay, now there's a couple places here where there's a little bit of gray. Yeah, you want to be careful. We'll wait on these areas. This has got a little bit of light of gray coming into it, but I want you to be careful not to get too dark. So just leave that, sorry, shadow. So just leave that for now. Right, and now. Does anybody need to see this again? I will, here, try to hold this. Actually, you know what? I can scoot this over a little bit so you can see it. I'm waiting for the new camera, so hopefully I should be able to easily fit both the source, everything that we need to fit in here. Okay. So again, this is, here, I'll put it up here so you can see it. It's cadmium red. No, wait, it's not clean. I'll take a picture. Cad red. So it's the warm red plus cool red, Quinn red. Plus, I've got yellow ochre here. You can see these three colors equals this kind of orangey, soft orangey pink. Plus. There we go. Take a picture of this. I know, because it's like annoying and the colors still aren't fantastic. I'm hoping the new camera, actually, colors are looking not bad today. I'm still playing around. I'm ordering new lights. We'll see how that works.
Oops.
There we go.
Leah, anything we can use instead of cadmium red? I don't exactly have that color.
What do you have?
I
You
have
want to
one
use your orangiest red.
orangish red.
Yeah.
Would vermilion do?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that should do. And it's okay if your colors don't turn out exactly like this or exactly like mine, because there is so much variation in watercolor, right? Okay, let's see. So I'm going to get a bit more in here. Okay. Well. It's funny when you really get into it, you'll see how
We'll see how.
sorry, I'm in right brain. Can't talk. You'll see how many different variations of value there are in the shadows of these flowers. Sorry, I can't talk. This is when you know I'm working on something new, because I actually can't speak. Your green will be a green with a touch of red, right? Maybe a warm red, not enough to turn it not green, but enough to turn it sort of a yellowy or green. And then you can add any yellow you want to make your green a little bit more stem-like. I'll write this down in a second. And the green will come in. Oh, yeah, that's nice. Super. Now I noticed there's a slight light area on this stem on the left, so I'm going to see if I can pull that out. So I am really going to the darker areas. Totally busted. All your greens need to have a little bit of, your green stems have to have a little bit of red in them. Not as much as we did to make this color, right? But enough to turn it a kind of warmer color. All of those greens need that. So you can see I'm in here adding that color. The top of this is purple, so I'm actually going to try and mix a little purple for the top heads of these. Oops, I got too green. Got too much gray in there. There we go. So that's kind of that first layer here. I'll take a picture of it, but I'll also take a picture of where my guy is right now, so you guys can see it. And then the question, of course, becomes is, should we add a background or not? Anik, that's starting to look nice. Yeah, very lovely. What do you think of this, Anik? It's an interesting way to do watercolor, isn't it? Okay, now we know what's happening. What's that? When you get this layer in, well, you know what? I'm going to wait. I'm not going any farther. I want you guys to get here first. So if anybody wants me to go ahead, let me know. But if you'd like me to stop, I am very happy to stop here.
Maybe pause a minute.
Yeah.
Please.
Yes, I think so.
Leah, for because I see the colors, but again, I don't have them. For the pink one, it's cool red, warm red, and then should I add, because I have yellow ochre and
Try yellow ochre. Try adding yellow ochre.
Yellow.
Yeah, try adding yellow ochre. And then watering it down to make it a little bit lighter. I keep wanting to, I know this background is green. I'm probably going to make it blue. All right, I'm going to go make some, oh, wait, and let me do the green mix for you. I'll put it up here. So that's Viridian green, a touch of cadmium red or warm red, and then yellow, any yellow. Yellow. Oh, that looks green because I've been mixing it with the green. Let's see if I can make it look more yellow. Yep. There, yellow. So the green for the stems is Cameron. Viridian green or whatever green you have, plus a touch of warm red, plus yellow, any yellow, equals your kind of green stem. Yeah, and these colors do not have to look exactly like. There we go. Mine, they just need to look more landscapey. Since I know you're all are working with different colors. There we go. Guess I'm gonna go get a little bit more water for my tea. I'll be right back. Let's see. How are you guys liking this technique? It's interesting, isn't it? Oh, that looks pretty, Emma. Okay, so this seemed to, I'm liking how your colors are sitting. Lovely. Sandra, lovely. So now we can go a little bit redder and darker in certain areas. So you'll see that over here, I'm mixing just kind of red and pink. I'm not putting any yellow in. And I'm going to kind of brush that in places because I see it in places here on top. Right? There's all these little variations that are quite lovely here. So if you want that pink to be a little bit more powerful, now you can go over, but you of course want to make sure everything's dry. And then, well, anyway, that's the first part. That's the first part. We'll work on laying in our, and I'm kind of doing a slight pink kind of outline. Yeah, I think that's really pretty. And I am uncharacteristically waiting on the background because I want to see what happens when we add our light pinks in the areas that we haven't. So here I see that this is a little bit kind of redder down here, right? That's kind of redder here and here. And it's a little bit paler here. It's also as well. And there's a dark area here, which I can get by mixing green and red, any green, any red, to get a kind of dark area in here. You can get that. And I don't want this to be so spotty. So of course I want to get a little bit more color in here, but maybe just slightly lighter and pinker. Up here, I want my pinks a lot lighter. And now in here, I might take the edge of my brush and with a little bit of the watered down red mix, I might come in here and add a few streaks into my light. Here, and then maybe up here a little bit. Not too much, but just a little. Yeah, it's pretty. I'm looking down here, I see that like, this is kind of orangier. So I've got a sort of more of the, same here. So I'm just kind of trying to add a little bit more of the variation that I see. And I like it. I think it's coming along nicely. I think it looks pretty. Here, there's like a couple, and I'm bringing in a little bit. I want to water that down more. I don't want this to be so dark. Even though it looks dark, I'm going to start light. There's a few shadows I would like to bring in here into this upper area. Oh. So you can kind of go on with darker colors. It's darker down here. It's kind of lighter up here. You can see I went too fast with my dark green here, and so I sort of lost it. it bled out into my other colors. So now I want to wait until this whole area dries before I try to do anything else. I might take more of that dark green and red though, up here. And you can let this be a little bit redder or more purple. Maybe even. There we go. I think I can get that a little bit darker.
When you darken the pink, you have skipped yellow, right? Mixing in yellow, Leah.
Yeah. When you darken, great. Yes, good question. Yes, I'm just using the 2 reds.
Okay.
Yeah, because I see areas that are more red and then, you know, that are more orange. And so I want those to be kind of pushed. Yeah, I like how this is looking. It's pretty. Now, here's the big question. So the next thing we're going to do is a very, very light version of that a beginning pink. So warm red, cool red, yellow mixture. We want a really light, super watered down. So watered down you can barely see it. And we want to lay it in here. I want to see how that looks. Is that too dark? You're going to learn from me. Oh, it's kind of nice. You want to be careful not to get too dark with this as you lay in the pink. And then once we do that, I'm thinking, I think I do want a little bit of background color. So I don't like that green back there. I've got turquoise. So I'm going to go for a bright blue turquoisey color. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So in a few places, particularly where it's whitish pink, I'm going to go in and kind of work out that edge. See what that does? Bam. I'm not going to put it everywhere, but I'm going to kind of put it around the top edges of the flowers, which is where it's lighter. Yeah, I think we need a little something. You could try green. Green would also look totally beautiful. I mean, some kind of beautiful light yellowy green or purple or whatever you want. Probably not pink because the flowers are pinky orange. So maybe yellow. I don't know. You can try.
Yellow ochre?
Oh, yuck. No, too flat. You want something warmer and brighter. Sorry. I know that's your favorite. I mean, you can try it. Try it. I'm not sure you'll be happy with the result.
Mm-hmm.
Notice I'm not laying this everywhere. I'm leaving areas of white and what I'm really trying to do is use the blue to push the white edge, the light edge of everything. I shouldn't say no. Do whatever you want, Natalia. Honestly.
No, it's okay.
I mean, I have my feelings. The problem is yellow ochre is just too flat and neutral.
Yeah,
it's not really what you're looking for. You're looking for kind of a cool, bright here to pop.
Yellow,
Yeah, maybe a yellow, maybe a yellow, the right yellow. So notice I'm leaving some lights, some areas white. Oh, I think that looks great. As Sandra says, it's not exactly what you expect. And then if you want to, you might try taking your skinny brush and pulling in some areas. You might try bringing in a little of the white watercolor into the lighter areas, maybe down. So I'm taking it and sort of streaking it down a little. Oops, yep, nope, don't want that. There's a kind of bleed happening here I do not want. You might add a little bit of red up into these light areas in little streaks, because you can see it in little streaks, right? So I'm adding a little bit more, not too much, but just a bit. There's a tiny bit. There's like a line here. And then a couple of lines that come up like this, not too many, but they give you this feeling of, you don't have to do every line, but if you just get a couple in each area, you'll see it does a lot. So here. And then you can kind of keep going and brightening your darkest, you know, these dark areas. I think it's pretty. Mix a little bit of purple, blue and red. Not a warm red, right here to kind of add a little dark. You'll just find that less goes a lot further. Oh, I may want to get in a touch of this. See if I can fix this area. I hope I can. I can see. So I'm using my little brush to sort of stroke in little light and dark areas. Not too much, because as you can see, a little bit goes a long way.
What is the mix that you're using with your small brush?
I'm just using blue and red for purple. Now I want you to just go out on your own, Rashmi, so don't worry about it so much at this point. Now you've got your base colors down. Use what looks right to you.
Mine is looking actually very bad. So
It's okay. Watercolor is full of failure. I mean, figuring out how to do it right is absolutely, well, why don't you send me a picture of it? This is red and green. I think this is red and green to get that dark. That's looking nice, Olga. So now get a few of those little dark bits in here. That looks great. And I like how you've got your, you just don't have enough in there yet, Rashmi. You just got to keep going. So, so now you're going to take, you should mix some of your light pink. So take what you've been doing over here with this red and add it in here in a few places in the underneath parts.
yeah.
You're just not far enough yet. Don't worry. You can mix another level of green and make that. Oh, that's looking great, Diana. Yeah, there we go. Now that's perfect compositionally. Yep. Ha 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 ha. So cute. So add a little bit of dark red and orange. My darks are mixed from red and green. So I make a darker version of that for these darks. Your green, have you added in your greens? Your greens are a little bit yellowy. So you might try adding a little bit, try a different green, or maybe trying to mix blue and yellow with a touch of red.
Okay.
To make a better green, to make a green that you like. This is much better than you think, Rashmi. It's not a failure. It's coming along. You're just not far enough along yet. There's this whole like really long, awkward period where the flower looks like it's in pieces, right? And so you've got to figure out what the things are, and you just haven't gone far enough yet. Just going to look awkward a little bit longer. I'm going to send this over to you guys so you can see where this is at. And look at some of the, so see what I did in the top. Here. Once I did add in a very light peachy color in the lightest areas. And then I did streak up a few darker spots using my pen. So yeah, just keep filling things in and then starting to bring in little streaks into the light areas. Hi, Boo. Do you guys want me to show you some of my really bad watercolor drawings? I could do that. 100 drawings, 30 did not go well.
Yes,
Here's
please
one.
humor us.
Here's one. Ridiculous. Just a mess. This just got so heavy so quickly. I was trying to do sort of a peek through of like a city and I just lost it. I just went way too dark too quickly. Told you, Sandra, it's not gonna be hard to see. Hold on. Let me grab them.
Too dark too quickly. Sounds like my struggle.
Right? Yeah.
of the
I was like
mind.
looking at this yesterday going, I don't even know what this is. I can't even remember where this is. I don't even know where it is. It's covering the entire thing, not letting any white areas show. Big mistake. When I look at this one on the screen, it doesn't bother me quite so much, but it's pretty much a mess. These are all like the same values, and it's really all about getting too dark. Let's see. I lost my lights. Everything got too dark.
Seems like we're talking about India.
Well, yeah, there we go. This
I'm saying
one, when I looked at this, that lost my lights, right? I'm in a
Yeah.
But that
forest.
one isn't so bad.
Yeah,
That one
actually,
isn't-
when I looked at this one, I was like, actually, this one isn't so, that's exactly what I thought, Jen. I was like, wow, a year later, this looks not too bad. But this one, oh my God, mess. This is all just, so notice I don't really have strong value definition. It's okay. I think it's great. I love these here. Yeah, let me see if I can find more that look kind of not great. I think this one turned out kind of messy. I just
But
went
that one you can save.
Yeah, maybe you're right. I'm gonna put it out and see if I can save it. Let's see. Yeah, the forest one isn't so bad. I might put those up just to look at and think about. This was a disaster of drawing proportions.
It happens to all of us.
It happens to all of us. I really had high hopes about this one, and I was really sad. It was also sort of a drawing problem, but also like everything just got too heavy in the sky. So I kind of lost the freshness. It looked overworked really quickly. No light areas really to speak of. Too many neutral values. Oh yeah. This is a street scene. No, too much, too dark, too heavy. So, I mean, I could go on. I have a lot. What else? I don't even know what the hell is happening here. This one also too heavy. Started out okay, and then I just went everything. There's too much coverage. Might be the wrong substitute, but I think it's just doing too much. This one's kind of cute, but
Oh.
see, I had light. Like there's more light around. Good. I like to hear Rashmi giggle.
I just heard from Nidhi, all of them are recovering at home, but they're very weak. So she's like, I'm only sleeping all the time. So maybe I'll be able to join next week. But right now,
She's so
like,
cute.
Oh, good.
Good. We worry.
Good to
Too
hear.
dark, right? Too many darks. Too heavy. Too dark. This is a cityscape I actually did on location. Yeah, I tried. Too heavy. This is a bog in Scotland. This one turned out okay because they're lighters and darkers, right, in there. Let's see, more failures. Kitty. Too heavy. Oh, I see. I see what you're doing here. So that should give you an example of how easy it is to go too dark and too heavy too quickly. What's up, buddy? You want to come say hello? Come here. No, of course you don't. Of course you're not going to come when you're called. He has a little, one of those little cat fishing toys that he likes to drag up and down this ladder. He climbs up to the second floor of the studio. It's really cute. All right, sorry. I was so busy showing you my failures, I stopped looking. Oh, Sandra, lovely. What is the background color? Payne's gray? I love this. Anyway, Sandra Mahler, great work. That's gorgeous. Nina, good grayscale. So now you're going to start laying in your pinks on top. Oh, Anik, that turned out well. Anik, it's surprising, isn't it? How much it turns out well. I was suspicious too. Sandra, you're really getting there, man. These are wonderful. These are wonderful. Yay, yay. Yes, and then some of the darkers coming in is lovely, lovely. Gorgeous. I love how cool your sky is, Sandra. I'm assuming that's like just more of your gray or a Payne's gray. Awesome. I love it.
It is.
Beautiful. It's beautiful.
It's fabulous.
They're fabulous. And Nina, this is in good shape. This is in good shape too, to start layering your colors on. Very nice. That gray is like really something else, isn't it? It's like, it's surprising. I feel like I'm losing here. I've lost my edge a little bit. It's not light. The light isn't showing enough. So I'm going to go heavy and dark here. Darker to see if I can push that a little bit. Might not be able to. That's better. So you see how I'm looking at where an edge is kind of lost. So here that edge was lost because the values were too much the same. Oh, somebody's losing his little mind. I'm trying to do the same up here. I'm trying to really push I want this to be dark enough so that my lights look next to it, immediately adjacent to it, look lighter.
Leah?
Yeah.
The toy that he drags up and down, is it attached to a stick?
Yeah.
You shouldn't let him play alone with that. It's very dangerous.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
These are called wand toys.
Yeah.
And they're very dangerous. He could lose an eye.
Oh.
So
okay.
maybe get him something like that he can drag around, but not with a stick.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. You got it.
The stick is to be hidden when you're not playing with it with him.
Oh, that's so sad. It's so cute to listen to him, right? But okay, I get it. I get it. Yep. All right.
Find him something else, like maybe a fish with a string is okay.
Okay, a fish with a string. I can do that.
Not too long a string. Oh, that's gorgeous, Olga.
Yeah, that came. Yeah, Olga, that came along really nicely. I like how you made the decision to keep your lights on top, to keep everything light on top. I think that really, oh, Emma, that turned out nice too. Very, so totally different decisions here, right? Here, Emma has kept, here.
Yeah, it looks good.
Here, Emma has put her darks on the top, right? And kept the bottom light. Olga decided to do the opposite, to keep the bottom dark and the top light. Both of them work really well, and both of them convey a completely different emotional content, don't you think? Oh, hi, Kitty. Kitty in a box. Kitty in a box. Here, hold on. Hold that up, Emma. Hold that up for a second. I'm going to spotlight just
He's
for a
gotten
second.
bigger.
He really has.
All this, you know.
Hey, kitty. Hey,
Hey,
How old
kitty.
is he, Emma?
Kitty.
You're muted.
He must be 6 months, I'm thinking, right? 6 months?
How old is
No,
he?
he was born in August, so like
So he must have been about
Look
2 or
at
3
his
months
little
ago.
face.
So he's
Look
almost
at
a year
his
old.
little face. Oh my word.
Probably a year old. Yeah.
Oh, he's so cute.
Have you got one or two?
There are two.
yeah, that's okay. We got about half an hour.
Very cute. Okay, buddy. Little nut barn. Hey, come over here. Say hi to everybody. He's- oh my God, look at this huge guy. Okay, you guys, look at this huge guy. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to hold him, but here, hold on. I'm going to add the spotlight.
It's huge. How much does he weigh?
At least 15 pounds.
Oh my God.
Oh, yes. You like the people, don't you? You like the people.
So maybe it's a bobcat you're having.
He has a very like lion-like demeanor, I have to say. Here we go. Sorry, I'm trying to get him out of the.
He's really big.
Oh, he's huge. And he lies like he lays down like all stretched out, and he takes up like a huge amount. He and Muka are very like occasionally going nose to nose and not attacking each other, like just nosing each other. So we're feeling hopeful that eventually that will happen, but all right. Oops. Here we go. Right. So look at the different ways everybody has taken. So Natalia, that is too much background. Too much. And I don't think the right color. So I know you have this palette that you like to work with, which is kind of yellow, red, and gold, but this purple is too warm. So it's competing very much with your, can you take a paper towel and try to wipe some of it off? It's just a little too, it's just not the right, or maybe try to make.
I like it.
You like it.
Yeah,
Well,
kind of.
if you like it, that's the most important thing. I feel like we're losing your flowers. I feel like they've kind of gotten lost in the purpley. Try darkening your stems. That might help. That might help me see it. Your stems need to be darker.
Okay.
Try darkening your stems, and then I might like it better. I'm glad you like it. That's the most important thing. Lovely, Anik. And I don't mean to say I don't like it. It's not that. It's just I didn't know how well those colors kind of work together. Do you see how Anik's got this very light, Natalia? You see how her stems and her flowers are coming forward, and her background is kind of lighter and pushing back. So that's what you want. I think you just need to darken your stems and it'll work. It's nice. Super nice. Very subtle. Guys have half an hour left, so. Where's Claudia? Anybody know?
No, I haven't spoken to her for a while.
She must be busy.
Yeah, she's working a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just so cool that she got that good job.
Yes.
What job is that?
She's a producer for German TV in
Oh,
Paris.
okay, it's not a new job, it's the job she has, right?
Yeah, but it's not she only started 5 months ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And before that, what was she doing in Paris then? Or
Well,
She was in school. She was in school and she still is, I think, right? She's studying.
yeah, I think she's struggling with that. She's taking a PhD at Sorbonne
Oh, right.
on American media, and before that, she was my assistant.
So that's what
decided to go
happens.
to Paris.
That's what happens. Yeah.
You get really big. You get people who like to do a lot of things and a lot of art.
Yeah, no, she was really good. She was.
By the way, guys, I'm going to do the reveal just to take off the edge, my taped edge, which I love because it leaves this nice, clean, clear, but sort of varied boundary. Like, I like how much this absolutely finishes a piece. See that? I like the way the paint just kind of stops. It's nice.
Yeah,
it's cute. Yeah, they're very pretty. I'll probably sell those. I'll probably put those up. Hi, Boo. I know you're losing your little mind.
Diana, I got the press card.
Oh, good.
Thank you.
Good.
Sometimes that can be kind of tricky.
So, Annika, you know Björn Folin, right?
What?
You know Björn Folin?
Yes.
Yeah. So his wife is in hospital with COVID.
Oh, no.
And she had the vaccine like a week before she got sick with
And now
COVID.
she's pretty sick.
She's very sick. I mean, she's
Wow.
yeah,
That
she's been in the hospital for, I think this is the 3rd day.
Imagine if she hadn't had the vaccine, it probably would have been worse.
Well, I don't know.
We don't know.
I think there's a period just after the first dose where you're very vulnerable.
Yeah, that's
unfortunately the 2 weeks that you're very vulnerable.
Yeah.
My friend she delivered her son, the youngest, 2 months ago, and when the baby was 1 month and a half old, the older brother of the baby brought the beauty virus from the kindergarten.
Oh God.
And all the 3 of them went down with COVID. Luckily, the father is vaccinated because he's a doctor.
Mhm.
And my friend, she ended up in a hospital.
Yeah, Jesus.
How is she doing?
Now she's doing better, but she's still weak because it's like, double COVID and being very tired after delivery.
Yeah.
Luckily, she also was vaccinated. She was very pissed because it was day after the vaccination that she felt ill.
Sometimes
she
I wonder
after
whether
the vaccine, but
it's
no
the vaccine. And
Oh, you mean
how
if
is
the
baby
vaccine
doing?
is, yeah, how is the baby doing?
The baby's fine, luckily.
Yeah, the whole family actually. The friend that both Annika and I know, he was vaccinated, so he's fine. But all their 3 kids that are like, they are 19 and one kid is 24, but they all 3 of them got it, and one of them also had to go to hospital, but she is home from hospital now.
His wife
She's
is
home from
home.
hospital?
What did you say, Sandra?
She's home from hospital, your friend?
No, her daughter.
Her daughter.
But they she has it really bad. She's on oxygen, and they say another 2 days are critical.
Oh. I don't know her. Who is she?
Her name is Caroline Mino. She's also a journalist.
She is? Because most people that get it after seem to get, less severe.
Yeah, and I mean, she's not overweight. She's in good shape. That's
really scary.
Yeah. It might just be that it's one of those really bad variants. It might be I don't know, South African seem to be pretty bad.
They have a lot in Sweden, don't they? Make different strands.
Yeah.
Okay, Rashmi, this is starting to look better. It's good. Now you're going to want to bring some of look at a couple of the lines, but not all of them, to try and sort of bring some of those slightly darker lines up in. Nina, that's not bad. You should be mixing your greens now to try and get those, to get those in. Oh yeah, much better, Natalia. Yeah, now I like it. Now I like it.
Oof, okay.
Yeah, but I want you to think about this purple pink thing, right? Like very often, I think you think too much like in analogous colors.
I do sometimes. Yeah.
And I
love film photography, and I have this tendency, I guess.
Right. I think you need to think about colors that are opposite each other on the color wheel more when you're popping, when you're thinking about doing backgrounds versus, because the purple is still a lot like the pink, and you can pull it off and make it work. But I think you would like, I want you thinking as well, what are the colors that are away from pink? Like purple is still a little bit too much like pink, right? Still too near near the color wheel. So I want you to think about opposite colors a little bit. Just in future. I still like this. I think it's nice. I told you guys to roll with what you wanted to do, so I think it's good. Rashmi, is there a way to get more yellow into your green?
Yeah, you asked me to tone down the yellow, so I toned it down.
Well, it was looking kind of
so
like
I have
brown.
viridian green, cadmium red, and lemon yellow. Is that okay?
I think you're using too much red.
Okay.
It should just be a touch of red.
I added a little bit of blue. I added a little bit of ultramarine blue. So should I just not use it? Okay.
I think you should try mixing.
Vibrant.
I think it looks just sort of flat.
Yeah.
That's all. That's all. I just think it looks kind of gray. And I think it should be looking more green, which means there should be more green and yellow and less red.
Okay.
I mean, when you're trying to mix a gray, like we did for our first layers, you want those colors to be more balanced. But when you're trying to mix something that's green and still use the complement, you want things to be a little bit more green than gray, which means you use more of the dominant color that you're trying to get and less of the complement. So it's a balance we're trying to achieve. Not like a standard mix where everything's kind of the same, right? Like you take half of one color and half of another color. And that's what this is really about practice-wise, is kind of getting those mixes right.
Yeah.
It's okay, we'll get there. You'll get there. Every stroke you're getting there.
Every stroke you take.
I was thinking of that.
Leah, you said last time, every stroke has a mood. I think that was a very nice line.
That's true. Every stroke, if we can see the stroke, and the mark, we wonder what it's trying to do, right? What it's trying to convey. And if the mark isn't like sort of cohesive, with the rest of, if the mark doesn't sort of work with the composition as a whole, you'll see it, you'll notice it. You'll be like, why is this line going this way when we're in the sky, right? It should be going up. Why is there this strong dark area like right here for no reason, dark streak for no reason? We notice it. Okay. You guys are doing great. How are you feeling about watercolor?
Love it. Like forever.
Mm-hmm.
So do I.
It's so different.
It's just so spectacular and delicate when it works.
It really is.
And it's challenging, so it's kind of interesting.
Yeah, it's fun. I agree.
I like it when it works. I don't like it when it doesn't. So
Totally valid response.
Leah, can I get some advice on the flowers? Please?
Sure.
Because I feel that they're falling apart still.
Buy new colors is my advice to you. Buy new colors is my advice to you. But I mean, I don't think these are so bad. I think I really like the flower on the bottom right. I think you got the balance just right on that. I think up here you got a little bit here. Hold on. Up. I love this one. So this one I think is really working. This isn't too bad. This one you got a little heavy-handed with your dark, and you can see
Yeah,
that.
it's too dark because I tried to fix.
Yeah, there's not a thing you can do about that.
Yeah.
So this is just your lesson to learn not to go too dark, too fast, right? So that's the basic lesson here, and I think that happened here and here as well. So you need to be able to layer more, but I see you learned, because by the time you got to this flower, your marks were softer.
But for example, the one on the left, should I add some line to this, or is it also nothing nothing to do now?
You can maybe try a couple lines. I mean, I would bring your background right up around it instead of floating it kind of off the edge. Well, actually, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, that's a really good question, Olga. I don't know. Sorry, Anya, I'm not sure what to do to fix it. I actually don't think it's that bad. Maybe add a little pink line in a liner brush around the top petal so that it's a little bit more defined. Try that.
Okay.
But I don't think this is as bad as you think. But I also think there's a learning curve, right? Where you're learning. And you have to think about what you're laying down and mixing. So I see progress in this painting.
Okay.
But the one thing we can't do is save something from being too dark. That is the one thing we cannot do.
what to learn?
Nice. I really like, Olga, how you're allowing this light to sort of dissipate off. I kind of like the light. Olga, as you can see, has a lost edge on the top of these flowers, there is a slight pencil line, so you can see it's there. But when you look at it, you feel actually like light is kind of coming through. I think that works really well. Lovely. Have fun. You guys are doing great. Don't worry that it's not exactly the way you expected it to be. Or I don't know. Just don't worry so much about the final result. Think about what you can learn from this. Because I see learning here. Oh, and I wanted to let everybody know, I am getting my second shot on Friday night. And it is possible that I will not be able to teach on Saturday, or I might be fine. I don't really know.
You'll
So
be fine.
I'm going to, maybe, I hope so. So I'll send a note across the thread if I cannot make class. I'll let you know. But I'm reserving the right to not make class if I feel sick. So I need to have a day to so I can show up on Sunday and help you with your paintings and all next week. So it's possible that I'll be fine. And it's possible that you might get a last minute note that we will not have class. Otherwise, I think we're working on cars tomorrow in drawing, or we're working on a car. We've been working on buildings. Now we're going to work on cars.
Maybe no one will miss you then.
Yeah, right. Because
Yes, that's right.
yeah, maybe you'll all skip class because I just
Because we're mostly girls and we don't care about cars.
girls who don't care about cars, but you
I mean,
do.
I care about cars in a way, but not to draw them, I suppose.
But you have, oh, Anik, that turned out well. Very nice. But you have to.
If you do a
Because if you're doing if you're doing cityscapes, you're gonna need it. Olga wanted the cars. Olga was the one who asked for cars. She wants.
No,
I like cars.
The city, not the
Yeah.
cars.
Yeah, but you know that you want car. You said, you very specifically said you want cars.
We can blame you.
Yeah, you very specifically said you want cars in the city. Here,
You can
guys,
blame me too. I also like cars.
Yeah.
But could we have Tesla car?
No. We're gonna go simpler than that. We'll go simple. Maybe we'll do a Tesla car, but believe me, we're gonna need to go a little simpler. I'm gonna show you guys what Hermes is doing right now. It's really cute. Sorry,
It's gonna be
I'm gonna
40.
send you my animals. I've just finished them.
Yes, please. I'm obsessed with him today. This is ridiculous.
Leah, I think it should be Ford T and all black.
A Ford T, now that could be kind of cool. Oh yeah, Sandra, those have been turning out just great. So great. So here's Hermes sprawled in front of a new painting.
In admiration.
That is a 40-inch painting, 12, 20. That's a 40-inch painting. That's like a 1.5 meter painting. That's how big he is.
Isn't it like he wants to be a part of the painting?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes, he's posing in front of it.
Isn't that cute?
I think you'll sell it more easily if you
Yeah.
present it like that.
Centerfold.
Cats not included.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm gonna look here. Okay, we've got about 5 more minutes, so let's take a look
So
at
in fact,
where you are.
I don't know where I am. I feel like all my paintings just take longer and longer to make.
Well, that's just because you're more in the zone. You can see more, right? Like
Maybe.
you can
Maybe
see
I-
more. You're spending more time to perfect them, I'd say,
Yeah, probably.
as opposed to just dashing them off. Yes, handsome, I see you. Yeah, he's still laying just like that in front of that painting, looking at me like, why won't you play with me? I want my toys. By the way, you guys, great work today. I think everybody did well. So
Thank
go
you,
ahead and
ma'am.
work for another 5 minutes or so and send it in. Yes, Rosmi, I was just wondering where yours was at. Rashmi looking good. Lana, very nice. Nice. So Rashi, so the green is really helping. The blue is helping around the flowers. This kind of sweeping, so you know, Rashmi, this sweeping line that you're doing, this light area,
I am struggling with it. Yeah.
you want to soften it. So get like you want to soften it. So you want to take some more paint, right? And kind of come along the edge and make it softer.
On the flower?
Yeah, no, on the blue,
Okay.
So you've got this blue sweeping thing that's looks like a path. It does not, and it's distracting from your composition. So you want to get rid of that hard edge that's right here and get rid of that hard edge that's here and here. But I think you got somewhere here. I think you got somewhere.
Actually, I struggle with background coloring in watercolor. I didn't struggle so much in acrylic. So
you're probably using too small a brush. I can see it.
I'm using a 1/2 inch, like what we've been using.
Really? So you're doing, so this is what you're doing. I'll show you because I think here, I'm going to pop this back on for just a second so you can see. I'm going to show you what you're doing because I know what you're doing. You're doing this. With your background, you're doing this.
Yeah.
Okay, don't do that. Do this.
Oh, okay, got it.
See? Yeah. If you do this, then we'll see those lines. If you go soft with more water, that'll help.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Diana, this really came along well. Isn't he done?
No, he's not done.
You might want to glaze a little bit of that blue that's in the background onto the giraffe.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then leave it in the shadow areas or just in the shadow areas because that blue is so pretty and strong. Getting a little bit of it into the giraffe might kind of make this more cohesive. I don't normally say that, but I think in this case that would work.
Yeah, it's complicated with all the pattern on him.
So you can get a little bit more unity by getting a little bit of this blue on him. And then you can pull it off in some areas, but get a little bit of the background in, it'll feel more unified and less blocky.
All right, I'll try that. I'm going to work a little bit on the body first, maybe a little bit more on the face.
Right.
The nose needs work.
Not as much as you think.
Okay.
It's looking pretty good, actually. Let's see. A touch.
Yeah, touch.
But not as much as you think. They are the weirdest looking animals, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
With those weird,
they're
really fun with those crazy eyes and those funny like knobs on the top of their head. And yeah, they are very like odd animals.
And the pattern on the body competes with the shape of the body. So it's like.
Exactly.
But it's fun.
You guys, these are great. I think you did great.
I'm going to leave you guys, but I hopefully see you tomorrow.
Yeah. Hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. I'll let you guys know if I'm not feeling here. Hold on. Let me remove the spotlight.
Hi, Diana.
Look at you in gallery view. I think everybody did great here. Even if you did not, and even if I said things like ew, or why'd you pick that color? What's going on? I want you to know, I think you all did good, right? I think everybody made improvements. And anybody who works in watercolor knows that this is not something that you get right away. This is a thinking person's medium. You have got to think. You have got to stop yourself from attacking the canvas. We all love to paint, right? So we want to throw paint at the canvas. And so we're learning how to like slow that down. And that's why I actually find, that's why you'll notice I'm way more in right brain working here in front of you. And I stopped being able to finish my sentences because it's really absorbing, like the task, you know, it's like, so yeah, sorry, I don't speak as well, but I know you guys will get it. And I think everybody got somewhere. So we'll be doing cars tomorrow. Maybe cars as part of a cityscape. I'll see if I can figure it out, find something that way. We will do in drawing. Marie's going to continue with waves. I'm going to continue with still lifes in oil in the oil painting, acrylic painting studio. However, you can bring whatever project you want to work on. So Natalia, I'm expecting you to start setting up your own still life. Let's think about that. Like that cool little lamp that's in the background, that might make a neat thing to paint. And if you want to work on other paintings, you can totally just come and do that. It's a 3-hour class. So there's less demo by me and more you working on things that you want to do. Eventually that class is going to move towards figure painting, but not right away. And next week we will do a lemur. And Sandra, remind me if I forget. So if I post something else, say, hey, we're doing this.
Committed
All right.
to the
All right, you guys. We'll see you soon.
Take care.
Thanks, Leah.
Good luck
Bye,
with your
guys.
shot.
Thank you. Thank you. Let's
Good
hope
luck.
nothing bad happens.